Right guys, welcome back to the channel. Today you join me at Mannings Heath Golf and Wine Estate for another one of our iron comparison review videos. Now if you didn't see last week with the release of the Ping i59 irons, a player's iron that comes with a hefty price tag, but I really liked it. It performed very well, and in the video that I reviewed it on, I likened it to the Srixon ZX7 in terms of performance. Well, I couldn't go without doing a direct iron comparison video, so today we've got the Srixon ZX7 against the Ping i59. If you haven't seen my videos from last year, I really like the Srixon ZX7. The feel of it really was right at the top in terms of any sort of premium iron. It's not actually currently in my bag, but from feel alone, it's definitely up there. Before we go into the performance of these two irons, we're going to have to do a design comparison because although there are some similarities, there are some very clear differences. Let's talk about the similarities first, and that's because if you just look at them from off the shelf, they do look quite similar in terms of their actual structure. The main difference is the Srixon ZX7 is a glossy finish, whereas the Ping i59 has that Hydro Pearl 2.0 finish, which has some technology behind it as well. But apart from that, when you do look at them, they do look like they have a very similar design. The Srixon ZX7 does have a slightly different sole design and the cavity is slightly smaller, but that may change when you look down at address. Either way, they are both definitely players' irons. They're stunning clubs, and they do have that, I know I say it a lot, but they have that minimalistic approach. They're not too out there, and they look like, if you hit them well, they could feel pretty nice. When you look down at address, however, I've got two 7 irons here. When you look down at address, there are some big differences. First of all, we have to mention it, the Ping i59 looks harder to hit. It is a smaller club, and although it does have some more grooves, there's micro max grooves, meaning that you should get some more control out of the rough. It looks harder to hit. It's got a lot thinner of a top line in comparison to the Srixon ZX7, but nevertheless, they are both players' irons. This leads me to believe, is the Srixon ZX7 going to be more forgiving? Well, who knows? But from a design basis, it looks like it, yeah. I do prefer the Ping i59. Looking down at address, it's a little bit smaller, but it still does instill quite a bit of confidence. The Srixon ZX7 does kind of look towards those P770s. But how will they perform? So far, I'm thinking that maybe the Ping i59 is suited towards the lower handicap player, but rather than hitting them here on the range, let's head over to King's Golf in East Grinstead, an absolutely amazing venue with Trackman, everything you'd want. It is golf heaven. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these up on a Trackman and have a look and see what numbers I can get in terms of dispersion, distance, spin, you name it. Let's jump over there now and see how I get on. Wow, that went so far. Right, that was actually a really interesting test. The Srixon ZX7s from previous reviews, I said feel unbelievable, and they do. They are a forged club. The Ping i59, it does say it's forged, but I won't get too much into details. To put it very simply, the Srixon ZX7 is purely forged. The Ping i59, it isn't. So there is a difference in feel here. When you hit it out the middle, there's a clear difference in feel. But the results that I got were actually a lot better with the Ping i59. Because the Srixon ZX7s are a little bit more forgiving, you do get some jumpy ones, similar to the TaylorMade P790s, the previous iteration in 2019. So let's talk about the Srixon ZX7 data first. I'll put the data up on the screen for you now, and for a 7 iron, very good. Roughly 175 yards, very strong. But my dispersion, yeah, it was actually all over the place because sometimes if you've got that really hot ball, the most I got out of this was 195 yards, absolutely miles. I think you can see it behind me there. Carry 192 and 200 yards. The Ping i59 was a lot tighter. It was a lot better dispersion, and that was with me hitting it all over the place from the club head. But as it's less forgiving, I did know when I hit it out of the toe and out of the heel, it felt pretty disgusting sometimes because that's what they're there for. They're a low handicap scoring club. And when you hit out of the toe, they want you to know. The data for the Ping i59 iron, I'll just put here for you. And as you can see, very similar numbers in terms of spin rate and carry, but the dispersion was a lot closer together. So top marks for the Ping i59 so far for a low handicap golfer, it's ticking all the boxes. For the Srixon, it's still ticking all the boxes, but I think it's just more down to because it's for that broader handicap spectrum. It goes a long way, but sometimes it doesn't. So make of that what you will. And let's now move on to on the course, because we can't just finish it here doing some testing indoors. We got to see how it performs in some wind, in some rain at Mannings Heath Golf and Wine Estate. So I'm going to take it now onto the course, take it to a signature par 3 and see how they both get on with some premium golf balls. Right, so back I am at Mannings Heath on the waterfall course. I am about, I would say about 210 yards away from the pin. You may have seen this location before on a previous video, and you will see it is rather downhill. So although it's playing, or it says it's about 210, it's probably going to play more like 185, 190. And if you do land it short, I would hope it would run forwards a little bit. So it's the perfect location for these two clubs, because it's actually quite narrow. You've got some trouble left and right with these trees, and we can really see the dispersion between the Ping and the Srixon. I said at King's Golf, the dispersion with the Srixon was a little bit all over the place in terms of, you got a few hot ones, very similar to the TaylorMade P790s of 2019. But here we'll really test both clubs. I've done similar location to the 8-iron of the Ping i59. It did very well. But this a little bit further back, average PGA Tour distance to the flag from about 200 yards is about 40 foot. I'll put the data up for you now. So I'm really just hoping if it's on the green, it's a pretty good shot. Let's see how I get on. I'm going to do the Srixon first with the lovely colourful Srixon golf balls, and then do the Ping second with the boring bland ones. Let's give it a go. That looks good. Looked all right. That could be really long. Oh, it's such a nice strike, but a little bit right. Oh God, it's a good shot. All right, now on to the Ping. I've just moved a few yards to the left because I didn't want to ruin the fairway. But I mean, the Ping's got its work cut out now. If you've seen those results, they were pretty strong in terms of dispersion, and they felt great too. Nope. Oh, wow. That's a goner. You ain't catching that on the drone footage, I'm afraid. Well, there's one. Ah, little left. I don't know if the drone will pick that one up. Hopefully it did. Little left again, but it's better. Oh, and I've hit it absolutely spot on. Be good. Oh, what a shot, what a shot. Saved the best till last, but that is pretty, I mean, is it conclusive? I don't know, let's go. Let's bring my lovely drone back and then give my final thoughts on these two pretty decent irons. Right, guys, that was a good test. I really think I've gone above and beyond for this test in terms of data, feel, performance, and luckily enough, I actually struck all of those last shots out of the middle of the club face. I know, I'm sure you are surprised as I am. And the results were actually really solid. I think a lot of people from 210 yards, 215 yards or so would take the results I'm about to show you. So with the Srixon, with those wonderful divide golf balls, they don't spin that much, so I wasn't really expecting it to get that close to that front pin, and you kind of saw that in that drone footage. But dispersion wise, I think 3 are on the green, 1 on the fringe, but I'm gonna take it, and then 1 just long in the rough. I'd take all of those from 210 yards or so. I know it's about playing 190, but still I'm gonna give myself the 210 yards just because I'm a nice guy. Going to the Pings, however, I know they are a little bit further away in terms of dispersion, mainly due down to that one bad shot, that one where I closed down the club face on the first shot. If I did excuse that, I'm not going to, but if I did excuse that, those final 3 shots were very strong. 2 on the green, 1 about 10 foot away for birdie, and then 1 just off the green. It's quite difficult to gauge distance on a day like today. It's just getting towards sunset. It's downhill, so I take all of those shots. But the Srixon is a winner. I'm sure you guys can see it. I can see it as well. The dispersion of those Srixons, top class, really is top class. And I guess a bit contrasting to the data that I got at King's Golf, but that happens. Sometimes you get some flyers and sometimes they go miles, but here, they all went pretty similar distances. So it's led me to quite a difficult decision as to picking a winner, but these videos aren't really down to picking a winner. It's more just a comparison than giving my thoughts on both products. And it's still quite a difficult choice because the Ping is suited towards lower handicap players. It's true, it's a forged club, although it's slightly different in terms of forging to some Srixons, some Mizunos. With that small club face and just less offset, you would say that it is suited towards lower handicap players. But as Ping have said, with that high MOI in comparison to other bladed low handicap clubs they've done, it is quite forgiving. So some shots that I have hit out of the toe and out of the heel still do go a pretty decent way, but they do let you know about it, so it's not very pleasant to hit. The Srixon, what do I have to say about the Srixon? I absolutely love the ZX7s. A lot of people do. And with that, the Srixons are a lot cheaper. The Pings being, I think, £200 or so per club, about 1.6K for a set if you want to get 40 pitching wedge. That's a lot of money, guys. That really is a lot of money. I know I'm not saying that's a negative because Pings are exceptional. The Pings i59s are unbelievable, but the Srixons you can get for a good percentile cheaper than that. Do you want to splash the cash and get the Pings? It's up to you, because they both are exceptionally performing irons. But with the Srixons being, I think, more truly forged, a bit cheaper and looking pretty similar, and probably down to a broader handicap spectrum, I mean, it's up to you guys to decide, because I like both clubs, but it seems that maybe the Srixons are a little bit more wider of a bracket, but down to your handicap level. Hopefully this video should give you a good basis as to which one's better. They are both exceptional clubs. Srixon maybe taking the top spot here just because of that cheaper price and exceptional feel, but it's a close one. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think in terms of Srixon versus Ping for this video. I think it's quite difficult, but I think a lot of people will probably lean towards Srixon for this one, just because they've probably tested the club as well, and the Ping's a little bit dearer. I know it's a bit of a negative for some, so let me know down in the comments. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video today. If you have, leave a like down below and let me know what you guys want me to put up next. Is it the Srixon ZX7 against something else, the Ping i59s against some TaylorMade, some Callaways? Let me know, because I think there's a lot of stuff I can do, and I've got a lot of options now with King's Golf as one of our exceptional facilities that we can try out. If you guys are new to the Golfmagic YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button down below to keep up to date with all of our videos. From challenges, reviews, you name it, we've got it to keep you guys entertained for all of 2021. Till next time, guys, I will see you at the next one.